Hi guys, and welcome to yet another video. Since I should be in a quarantine, we have limited free trial of people here. There is no better place to be than in my shop working on some stuff. But this thing is giving me a headache again, so let's take a look at it. So here we have the pit bike that we worked on in the previous episode. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out now, then return to this, because you will not know what we are talking about. In the previous episode, we changed the head, the cylinder, and I buttoned everything back up. I went to start it. It, as usually did, started off camera, and then I had an oil leak because this cover wasn't properly on, so I had oil leak from this. I shut it off with the kill switch. I can't restart it since. So we have spark, we have gas. I tried 4 different plugs with no success. And then I watched the other night a video from South Mayado, and he had a problem with a diesel in the fuel. And check out what's coming out of the tank. Can you see how black and nasty that is? It may be 100 octane, it can be green, but I think it's just nasty. So let's drain the tank off, and we'll see if we can introduce some fresh fuel to it, and we'll see if it will fire up. Alright, so let's see here. It probably will not fire because I don't know what we have going on, because as I said, it ran, I shut it off, I could not restart it anymore. It has spark, it has compression, it has fuel. I don't know why it doesn't start. So let's try. So as you can hear, it fires, but only on 1 revolution. I will probably have to do one thing that I really don't want to, and that's I'm going to strap it behind the car, and somebody will tow me, and I will try to tow start it. Okay, so it's been almost 2 weeks from that other clip that you've seen previously. And what was the last sentence he said? He said he will tow start it. Yeah, that's what he said. And at that moment, he knew he fucked up. Yeah, let's take a look. Well, the tow starting didn't end up well. I broke the fork. So I crashed this thing because it started for a brief moment, and as it started, the tow rope prolapsed under the car, and then it died, and the car continued, but I yelled to stop, but they didn't hear me. And as the rope tightened, it pulled the bike from my butt, from underneath my butt, and I fell on the ground. This thing fell on the ground. I came out with a couple of bruises, but the bike broke the fork. And it doesn't run, and of course. And I had how many "oh yes, I got it" moment? The first one was with the dirty gas. There is the gas with the crap that settles on the bottom. The piston, definite issue. Well, and then I found out this. It had a spark, but one of the pins is rusted off. This was rusty and the plug was rusty. Yeah, I had another moment. Yeah, this is it. I bought a new CDI unit. That wasn't it. Well, and here we are again with the head off. And I had a commenter on the first episode saying that are the valves flush? Are the valves okay? I forgot to check them. And of course, what do you think? This is the intake one. The touch pattern is fairly good, but the edge here is worn down to nothing. It's sharp as hell, so that's hot garbage. There's some pitting around, but the main issue I think is with the exhaust one. The touch pattern is really bad, and here in the spot you can see the blow by, and it's also pretty much wore down, so we need to at least put new valves in and lap this. Also, the spark plug hole was stripped and it didn't seal properly, and there was a helicoil in it, but because we removed the spark plug so many times, the coil, the insert in the thread, just disintegrated. So I said to myself that this head is junk and I will find a good used one and we will just swap them out. I only found one good head and that was like 45 bucks. The new one is 200 plus. 125 plus, I think. So what I did is I went on the internet and ordered a couple stuff. So we have one package, 2, 3 packages, and then this. So let's make a little bit of room here and let's unpack them. Let's see what we have in those packages. And I also forgot that one of the rockers has a little damage to it. We will not be fixing that, of course. So let's start with this envelope and work our way down to more cool stuff. And what do we got in here? Oh, we got new. I'm looking for an invoice. I don't see it. Anyway. We got... What do we got here? These should be new valves. New valve seals. New valve seals. Nice. Garbage. And there should be new valves. So we have new valves, new seals. So that's a plus. Then we have the grinding compound to grind the valves down, to lap to hone the valves to the seats. So we have that. Then in this box, what's in this box? There should be, if I'm not mistaken, there should be an invoice, really nice, and there is the repair set, weak coil repair set for the frets in the head, really handy. The last but not least, is heavier than it should be, at least in my mind. Forgot what I ordered. There should be, if I can get in, they packed this one well, didn't they? Maybe so what do we got in here? Got nicely protected invoice, real nice. We got catalog, and we got those valve loppers. So these were $8, and an oil filter wrench. I needed one of those. Alright, so I think the first thing to do is to check the valves. I measured them according to their measurements on the internet. They should be the same, but you never know with these Chinese things. Come on, you little fella. I know you want me. And I want you. So here we go. So let's compare them. That seems to be fine. Here you can see the difference in the surfaces. And I don't know how well that shows on the GoPro, but you can see the difference in the valves, hopefully, in that angle right here. So first thing to do is we're gonna use some coarse grinding material and our valve lopper, and we will lap the valves to their respective seats. So we will start with the coarse stuff. We will put a dab on, spread it across the valve. Doing it off camera. Spread this coarse stuff on the valve here, and shove it in. And now we will be doing this, and as the sounds stop, I will use the small thing here, and we will repeat this process until we are satisfied with the seat. So let me lap the valves for quite a bit, and I will bring you back once I'm happy with the outcome. Alright, so I've got this lapped. The exhaust one is not 100%, but I think it's better. So now it's time to insert the helicoil, the V-coil, as they call this one, the V-coil. So we will drill it, then tap it, and then insert this coil. So let's get into it. So we got it drilled, so now let's tap it. Let's dip the tap in some used motor oil and gently start it here in the hole. You can see the shavings are falling from the bottom as we take off the material from the head. From time to time, go back and cut your shaving, and we are through. So we can go just a little more. Like that. And now go out. Clean the bore, and we can proceed with inserting the coil. This should be it. Now to remove that little tab, installation tab. So we got it tapped, the spark plugs in, looks to be tight. So I think let's scrape off some of this carbon buildup. Let's clean the head a little bit and blow it with compressed air. And I think we should be ready for reinstall, I guess. Got my brush handy dandy brass brush, so I will clean this off a bit, and I think we are ready for the install. I did have one final test with a paint marker. I marked the saddles, the seats. I grabbed the valves and put them into their holes and turn them. And where the paint is missing, the touch pattern is good. The paint is missing all the way around, so I think I hope we should be good. So we can start our reassembly. To reassemble this, before we reassemble it, I mean, we need to change the seals, the valve stem seals. Those just pop out with a screwdriver. Just pop them off like so, and you pop new one on. So let me get them off, and I will bring you along when this is done. I can see one difference between new and old. The old does not have the little spring on the top, and they are far more open, as you can see. But they should be the same diameter. Maybe these are so worn. So let's test them on the valve, and yeah, they are sealing nice and tight. So let's put them in the head, and then we can start reassembling the valves. Once we have the valves in, we can put the camshaft on, and with the camshaft Then goes the rockers in. And after the camshaft, there this can be a bit tricky to get them in. The one's on. And now the second one. Second one's playing with me a little bit. Come on, you little thing. Like that. The second one's in also, so we have 2 new seats, properly seated. I can grab my valve installation tool and we can proceed with the installation of the valves. Just make sure that everything's nice and clean before we do that. So let's start with the exhaust one. Give it a little cleaning. Put it in there. And now we need springs. Smaller one and the bigger one. And let's get those tight. Let's get them compressed with our tool here. So, let me show you a little bit closer. We got it nice and tight, and we will be inserting these little C-clips, all half circles, to lock the valve in place. Alright, as you can see, we have the valves and the keepers in. Usually I use this little pin set and a dab of grease, and that's help to seat them in place. You should tap them with a plastic hammer or plastic a roll or something to make sure they are seated. So now we should insert our camshaft. Let's just make sure that it's nice and clean. So we can insert that and tap it gently into its place. Here we go. That's in, camshaft's in, and now for the rockers, and we should be good to go. Okay, so the head is back together. I've got the valve lash set to 0.10 on the intake, 0.15 on the exhaust side. Maybe a little bit clacky, but we do not care about that at the moment. I worked so many years without a vise that I forgot I can use it now. So in the future we can use it. So let's put this thing back on the machine. I showed it already, so I'm not going to show you. Hope I don't pinch my finger yet again. And then I think we are ready for the nerve-wracking first try. I'm scared. So the gas is on. The choke is on. let's see what it does. Well, it is still the same. We get one path, that's it. I checked the timing with the screwdriver. I checked the carburetor spark. We changed the CDI. We changed the piston. We redid the head. At this point, I don't know. Well, I'm wasting money on this thing like crazy, but this is not wasted money. Let's see what I got. Voila! I've got the compression leak down tester. So let's pump the compressor up and let's see what it does. So as you can see, I have it on 2 bars, and this thing, you can't hardly see and hear anything. I tightened the fitting on the other side, and this thing is mint. So I don't know. I can hear a slight leak into the crankcase, but that's normal. Your piston and rings will never seal 100%, but yeah, so I don't know. So this is going to be it for this video. I'm not giving up completely on that pit bike, but if you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comment section, because I tried the piston, valves, I tried spraying starter fluid, I tried new CDI, I tried setting the timing on the marks, and I tried also setting it by feel. That means stop dead center and the valves closed. Nothing helped. We get just a little pop, and that's it. We have spark, we have compression, we have fuel. I think it is a spark related or timing related, because the engine mechanically seems to be fine. So let me know down in the comments what do you think is the cause. I will put it on back burner, since we do not have any more project right now other than the Malagudi. And we'll see if I can come up with any solution for that pit bike. So until then, write down in the comment section what do you think. Let me know your opinions, and I will see you in the next one. Comment, subscribe, a like will be appreciated. Have a nice day, be safe out there, bye.